battle stations. I ain't on vacation, I'm just glowing up, living out aspirations. I beat their expectations and change the generations. And I'm still jumping fences, and you're just imitations. They're all in second places, but I don't live for praises. I play this life like a game, left on the stages. Let me paraphrases, then do a couple pages. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing. No one gonna prove to. You're looking at the king. This life may choose you, so raise your wings. Watch this, watch this, watch this. This is a brand new thing. They've been calling me mad for 20 years, but it takes a little crazy when you're facing fears. No matter what you do, it never ever disappoints.
Episode 3, Dynastangy. I'm your host, Matty Ice. Episode 2, in the books. It was a wild one. It feels good to get the first dub. Feels good to get the first dub. We're not gonna get into too much about what happened last week. We did miss a trade, and we wanna bring that up. So Max got absolutely pounded by Ben. Just slow talked. You hate to see it. He trades away literally Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones for Donovan Peoples-Jones or Jr. and Matt Ryan. He literally got worse players in each spot. Like, he didn't upgrade at all, which is just nuts to me. And now Ben's going to turn those two peanuts into probably a first-round draft pick. That's just the way things go. So, Ben, congrats on the trade. I know we should have gotten to it last week. One thing that some people may not have known is that we had the Hexabale happen last week. It was incredible. First time anyone's ever seen it. James had a fire, invited over Scott and me, and also just posted about it in group chat. But then Sean was having game night with Mara and Mariah and Tilly. So then I called Sean. I was like, hey, when you guys are done with game night, you should stop on over and hang on over at James's house. So then Sean goes, yeah, sounds good. I'll let Tilly know. And then you know what happened? He didn't say anything at all. So, some friend you are. James is still crying about it. Like 5 days later.
Not even going to mention that.
Oh, right. Ben, poker. Dude, what happened? You say you want to play poker, and then a few people respond, you don't follow up, then you just say, nah. You hate to see it. You just hate to see it. Probably afraid to lose money from Andy. That would be my guess. Dude's lucky as fuck. So, news and notes, nothing too crazy. We're not going to talk about the fact that Sean was dead wrong about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. It is week 2, but Scott, get us on the news, dude. Get us on the news. Let's talk football. Sean has such a big football IQ that he actually psychs himself out of bad players and thinks they're good, and then says good players are bad just to be contrarian or something like that. I don't know. Dude, Trey Lance sucks. Jalen Hurts, good. It's not hard, right? It's just not hard. He's just really good at football. So, diddle-oo-doo, 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 diddle-oo. All right, I'm dizzy. I just spun 3 times. It's pretty pathetic that I'm already dizzy, but I am. Pour one out for Sean. He lost Trey Lance, what he thought was the greatest QB of all time. And I would just like to say, I think it's blessing in disguise, dude. I think you would have been starting a pretty booty quarterback for at least 5 to 6 weeks before anything were to happen. You'd probably be losing a lot. I think this is just better. Now you just go out and get yourself a decent quarterback and just play your game. So, sometimes people just get too smart for themselves. Not everyone can be a quarterback whisperer like me. I'm not going to say that I'm an absolute stud at picking quarterbacks. I picked Kyler Murray on his right year. I picked Patrick Mahomes on his first year when he blew up. And I'm about to pick Jalen Hurts, who's going to be the number 1 QB in the league. So, and I did. So I'm just going to say it right now. Quarterback whisperer, 1,000 big brain IQ. Scott, shout out you. You were right about the Eagles as well. I respect it. And that's this week's news and notes. Let's hit it over to our boy, our stat man, James Freilich, who's going to hit us with a few stats and some advanced analytics. So shout out, James. Let's go, boys. Dynastangy, let's ride.
Thank you, Matt. Here we are with this week's Analytics, powered by Dix. If we switch back to this godforsaken median, Sean would be the only person to move up, while Eric, KKK, would drop down. I've said it before and I'll say it once again. Fuck the median.
Let's go median. Oh, let's go median.
Sean continues to pop off in chat as per normal. Matt, Scott, and I also helped carry conversations this week. But really, Ben got the most improved with 411 messages this week, which was an 87% increase from previous weeks. Chatty Cathy's, let's go.
You talk too much. Yep. Get a life. Right?
These are the creepers in the chat for this week. For the most part, I don't know what you guys are doing in chat. Come on, join in. We're not scary. Eric, or should I say Erich, with 0 messages this past week. I anticipate that we'll be seeing him with 0 numbers for most weeks.
Well, look at these nerds thinking they have better things to do than fantasy football. Pussies.
As you can see, my team is on this list too, which sucks. Check out these scrubs that averaged less than 100 points this season. Hopefully these teams can turn it around. I have a good feeling that some names that are on this list won't be, and some names that aren't on this list will be very soon.
That's a whole lot of wampum.
Scott is on top with a high average, with Ben Siskey close in on his heels. This is a good indication of a playoff picture, if that were happening next week, which it's not.
Oh, your point's so big. You American have such big points.
We are a real diverse group here in this league. As you can see, our gang is made up of 100% males, 100% Caucasians, and we have a wide age range in this group, from 21 to about 45 years old. We here at Dynastangy are anxious to see how this stat changes throughout the year, and we'll be tracking it closely.
So many cis white males? Ugh.
Here are the top blowouts from the season so far. As you can see, Scott and Ben are the only 2 blowing dudes out. Ben with the monster 72-point blowout. Let's see who else can beat this number this season.
Look at this guy blowing dudes out.
On the flip side, there are guys getting blown. Normally this is a list you'd want to be on, but in this case, you don't want to see your name here. Ryan, you got a massive blowy with 72.4 points. I have a feeling we could see his name on here a couple more times throughout the season, and I hope others don't fall and end up on this list as well.
Look at these fools getting blown out by dudes.
Now here we go for the money. Sean is really low on cash. I tried to give him more, but he refused. Ben now has more money than what's shown on this chart because he took my deal. And I am actually slightly poor now, which would probably put me on this list, but hey, there's not much time left in the season. Blow your money now and start including it in trades, people.
Damn, look at these broke bitches.
Here's the week 2 luck chart. Right means you're a lucky duck. Left means you were an unlucky fuck. This week, Max was very unlucky against Casey. On the flip side, KKK Eric was real lucky with his W this week.
You lucky son of a bitch.
For the season luck, you want to be on the right side of this chart again. Andy is really showing us his horseshoe, which he keeps firmly up his ass. Max and Donnie, you've been pretty unlucky so far this season. I expect this graph to change wildly in the upcoming weeks given the matchups happening. Season luck is determined by a bunch of different variables. See chart for details.
Found a horseshoe in my ass.
Here we go for the fattest teams in the league. KKK Eric, you have a whole lot of chunkers on your team, resulting in having a whole lot of meat for your freezer. Max, on the other hand, you might not make it through the winter with that skinny boy team. Max, fat people, they need love too.
Got beef? Oh.
Freeze, I'm a cap. We have some players on our teams that we aren't necessarily proud of. Sean, Max, Eric, and Erich all have drunk drivers on their squads that could be flight risks later on in the season. Scott is a player that isn't afraid to crook the books, which is fitting for Scott's team, really. John, holy cow, is that Jeff Gordon on your squad? Nah, it's just Hollywood Brown. Speed limits are bunk anyway. Lastly, we have our bet segment where we'll trickle in side bets throughout the league. We're starting off with a bet between Scott and Sean for a whole $20. Sean states that Scott will regret his trade with Ben by the end of the season. Scott is confident that his 3 will get more points for. If Scott is wrong, he was raped by Ben. If Sean is wrong, well, it's just another day, really. He's wrong a lot.
That one's gonna kill. That one's gonna kill. That one's gonna kill.
If you're sitting, start standing. Standings with Matty Ice. Ooh la la.
We brought back standings, boys. If you're in your chairs, get up. I always say that for the prediction for some reason. I get the jingles confused. They're both very, very catchy. Now these standings, they mean nothing. It's week 2, all right? You don't say a team's bad in week 2. You don't say a team's good week 2. We got injuries. We got other bullshit to get through. This standings, I'm going to make it real quick. We all know what the standings are, so I'm just going to talk about it real quick and say my piece. In rank 12, we have Eric. I bet on him 2 weeks in a row. Complete disaster. We'll never do it again. He is down 0. So he's been 12th this whole year so far, which honestly, Eric, you're pretty good at fantasy. I'm surprised that's the case. 0-2, you suck. Rank 11, we have Donnie. And let me just say this right now, Donnie. You can't catch a break. You draft in Dynasty, you lose all your players, you tank again, the league blows up, and now you have a bad redraft team. That is such a disaster. I hate to see it. You're my boy. I want to see you do good. I want to see you be competitive. I think there's still hope for your team left. You're down 2 ranks, but I think there's a lot of hope. I mean, there really is. So I'm rooting for you, bud. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. And here's the thing. If in a few weeks you're still rank 11, your boy's got a gun. Rank 10. What I said was the worst team last week in my power rankings. Clearly off by a little bit so far. Andy fell down a historic 4 ranks, which is rough. Tough week for you, dude. 1-1, a lot of game left. I don't think your team's that bad. Austin Eckler's underperforming. Good luck to you. And we got rank 9. Right? Rank 9? Okay. Shawnee. You lost Trey Lance. It's a disaster. We're pouring one out for you. And I don't know what else to say. You lost Kamara. You lost Godwin. Your team's better than this. I know it. You will be back 1-1. I have trust. Rank number 8. Officially the proper way to spell Eric. Eric Hansen, if you're listening, you have to change your name. That's just how it goes. He is the most racist person in the league. His picture is a picture of me in what looks like I am in a Ku Klux Klan outfit that is photoshopped. Rank 8, up 3 positions from last week. 1-1, a lot of room to grow. Congrats. Anyone's business. Rank 7, we got James Freilich. Fall from grace, 4 ranks down. I'm sure he was flying high last week. This week, a little bit of a reality check. Probably somewhere in the middle. I think you're a little bit better than rank 8, rank 7, but a lot of time left. Let's hit up number 6. We got Green Bay's sweetheart, J Baby, up 4 ranks. Hey, J Bay. J Baby is going down but it's actually going up. So congratulations to you. You did it without Gabe Davis. I think your team's decent. So shout out J Baby, rookie, fresh meat, number 1 hate list. Rank number 5. We got Casey. Casey had an absolute blow up week in what saved him over the game against Max. Huge win, up 3 ranks. A win's a win. Doesn't matter how it looks. So congratulations, Casey. Your team's looking good. Rank 4, got your boy Matty Ice here. Team's not looking too bad. decent in the points for, 1-1. Anyone's game. If I can stay healthy, I like my chances of getting to the playoffs. And everyone knows once you get into the dance, you never know who you're going to dance with. That's what they say. So congratulations, me. Rank number 3, we have the King, or what used to be the King. Shout out Casey, the King Slayer. Down 2 ranks. Tough look for who's supposed to be the fantasy god with 2 rings. I don't think Tom Brady has ever gone 1-1 to start the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you're going to have to do a little bit better than that. Your team's fine. I do think I was a little too overzealous on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So we'll see where that goes. Still got a good team. And yeah, you're looking good. Rank 2, we got the roommate, Beach Siski, aka Beach Clancy, aka Ben. Huge win, up 2. And Amelia is eating James's phone right now. Incredible. Now we all know why James is down 4 ranks this week. Ben, you have an incredible team. I think you have the best team in the league. I guess we'll find out the power rankings. And then rank 1, we have Icebox 31. Congratulations, barely beating out Ben in points for 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. He's up 1 position from last week. He's been riding high. Most points for, least points against. It's a recipe for success. Congratulations, Scott. These are the rankings, as you all already know by opening up the Sleeper app and instead of having to listen to me talk for like 7 minutes. So let's get it. I'm out of here. Dynastangy, let's ride.
What will the final scores be? Into the future he tries to see, but who will know if he's wrong or right? Predictions with Matty Ice.
It's your boy, Matty Ice. We're doing predictions. I went 66% last week. Somehow, Max lost. It was a miraculous win for Casey. Absolute dagger from Diggs. And then I also didn't pick Eric right. I picked the non-racist Eric. Should have picked the racist Eric. Eric, I said it last week. If I pick you twice in a row and you lose, I'm never picking you again. And that's going to hold true this week. So I might not even go over a matchup. It's just going to click up and we'll be done. But I got myself right. I got James versus John. I got Andy versus Scott. I got Ben versus Ryan. Those were clear, easy wins. Those teams are just money this week. So on the year, 50%. I came back from 33%. I got a 66er. Now I'm back at 50. That feels good. That's right on the line that I like to ride. I don't want to be too hot, too cold. Let's get it started. Matchup 1. Matchup 1. We've got Ben's Approval versus Beach Clancy. And oh boy, I don't have much to say. Ben's team is incredible. It's very well-rounded. He needs a quarterback. I'm assuming he's going to make a trade or he's going to make a waiver play here. There's obviously, this podcast gets recorded before Tuesday. Ben, your team is full of studs and James has a lot of solid players that could go off. This is a very close match. But I do think I have to give it to Ben. This is a clear 3-game-in-a-row victory for him. Starting off the year hot. Congratulations, Ben. James, I'm sorry. You have been eliminated. All right, so next matchup we got your boy Matty Ice versus James Top, Matt Bottom. Incredible name. Definitely did not rip that off of the league. Very unique. You should change your name to the Kingslayer, though, because you took down Max, first loss in like 8 months. I did not call it, but I'm proud of you. He needed to be put in his place. Now, this game is tough. I lost Mike Evans this week, and I know you hate Mike Evans, so this works out in your favor. This really just is a terrible week. I might start Christian Watson. It's a disaster. But as the story goes, always bet on yourself. And for that reason, I'm sorry, Casey, aka Kingslayer. You're out of here. Pew. Matchup 3. We got the 2-time, aka Cluzy, the king is dead, the king is dead, all hail the Kingslayer, the king is dead, versus lifelong 0-2 Bengals fan. Incredible. 1-1 on the year. You both are very close in ranking. That's incredible. Awesome. Joe Burrow, best quarterback ever. No, I'm just kidding. They will have a bounce back this week. I don't know why I'm talking about the Bengals. This has nothing to do with this matchup. Here's the deal. Sean needs a quarterback. I'm going to assume he's going to upgrade his quarterback before this game. For that reason, but he's also injured, I am going to go ahead and say that Sean gets the dub this week. I think Saquon Barkley comes through. I think Alvin Kamara comes back. And I do think that he will upgrade his quarterback and get more than 3 points this week. So I'm sorry, Max. I think you're going 1-2 to start the 3 weeks. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Matchup 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got co-host on Future Football Podcast, 3000 IQ football brain, Scott, Team Icebox 31, aka Saltbox, aka BFF Forever, versus Team Eric, and I'm not even going to talk anymore. All right, that's it. Eric, you lose. I can't bet on you anymore. So, sorry, dude. Matchup 5. We got the boy, one of my best friends, Andy Armstrong, versus the biggest racist in the league, Eric KKK. Bad news. Just figured out what Andy's team means. It's Wilson, Sutton, Eckler, and Elliott, all combined.
You didn't need to say it out loud. We all knew.
I'm gonna say it out loud. I feel like there's other people that were with me.
No, we all knew.
No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it for 1 minute. Andy, not a good team, but here's the deal. Wilson, couple bad weeks. I like a bounce back from him. Eckler, I like a bounce back from him. I think Sutton's going to do well this week. Eric, on the other hand. So on the other hand, we got Eric. I don't like your quarterback. Christian McCaffrey, stud. Rashad Penny, brutal. I think this is going to be an incredibly close matchup. Probably the hardest one I've had to pick this week. I just feel like Andy's luck factor is just incredible in this league, as you guys saw in the stats. And I like the fact that Andy's going to pull a win somehow against what to me feels like a lower scoring game this week. So I'm giving the dub to Andy. Eric, I'm sorry. We don't cheer for racists in this league. Last match. Whoo! This is a doozy. We've got the best friends in the league. Ryan, Green Bay sweetheart, J-Bay, Team J-Bay, 1001. I don't know why I say J-Bay instead of J-Baby, because obviously it's J-Baby, but I like Bay better. So I'm going to say that. This is a close game, but it's not that hard to guess. This is clearly J-Bay's game to lose, and I like that he's got a full head of steam from last week, gets the dub, doesn't even need Gabriel Davis. Next week feels like a Gabriel Davis blow-up game, and it also does feel like another T. Higgins big game. Father died. For that reason, I am going to go with J-Bay. Donnie, I'm sorry. This is a disaster start for you in fantasy football. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Bye. That was the freaking predictions. Eat a dick.
This is a certified hood classic.
Hey, yo, Matt.
Yo, what's good?
I don't think they know where they stand,
Yeah, well, fuck them.
but they about to know.
Okay.
Dynastangy, where you at?
Uh-huh.
Atlanta, Appleton,
Lego.
or wherever the hell else you're from. Dynastangy gang. Shit,
Let's go.
Here come the motherfucking rankings. Y'all scrubs appear to be tanking.
Tank?
He got mad stacks of stats to make sure he's only spewing dope facts.
Dope
Some
facts.
of y'all ain't gonna like it.
Fuck
but
'em.
there's no bribe money in his pocket.
Ice.
Providing the league with a service worth thanking. Fuck, it's homie Matty Ice with the power rankings.
I love rankings. I love rankings. I love rankings. I love rankings. Totally unbiased rankings. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
It's the Power Rankings. I'm your host, Matty Ice. We're going to start at the bottom. I'm going to make this quick, as I always do in these podcasts. Last place, Eric Hansen. Your team's a disaster this year, and I don't know who's on it, but it's terrible. And I can't rank you any higher than last place without feeling some bit of regret and shame in my body. So, I'm sorry. 11th place. One up from last week. That's right, Andy Armstrong. Moving on up. Look, here's the deal. Your team has to show that it's good before I can give it a higher rank. You did lose a pretty high quality running back, but I think that your wide receivers are a bit too young, and it's going to take some time for them to turn on. With that being said, if Austin Eckler and Wilson actually start showing up and playing some good ball, your team's not that bad. But I do think it's still below average, even if they do show up and play ball. You need a big threat in the wide receiver. And right now, Sutton can't be a big threat unless Wilson's playing better. At least in my opinion. A lot of room to grow. But for me, power rankings wise, Andy, 11th. 10th place. We got your boy, Eric. Look, Eric, on paper, your team's pretty decent. But here's the deal. I think the Christian McCaffrey pick is going to be the one that hurts it the most. I just don't see him being a stud that he was in years past. I think Mark Andrews, good tight end, too much draft capital in, not enough depth, and you'll be starting scrubs throughout the year as injuries happen. Granted, me too. But I think your team as a whole, the wide receivers, the running backs, it just doesn't work for me. Amelia, I'm sorry. Eric, I know Eric's your favorite. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Rank 9, we've got the dog lover, favorite man in the world, baler extraordinaire. This guy bales more than a farmer working on the hay farms or something like that. You have a decent team. I think Dalvin Cook is a buy low candidate, so I do like him to go up a little bit, but I'm scared that this is going to be the new Dalvin Cook, which is not the workhorse that he's been in the past. That could mean he stays healthier through the season and ends up getting more work later. We will find out. James Conner, solid running back. CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz got injured. It's just, I don't love the team. I think that there's a ton of room to go up. Devonta Smith had a nice game. Terry McLaurin had a nice game. You got like good players, decent players, but you just have too many like okay to decent players when they have bad games. Just, yeah, it is what it is. Rank 9. Donnie, love you, bro. Work on the team. Rank 8. We've got Amelia's dad, James, aka James's manager, who on paper has an incredible team, one of the best studs in the league, Young Ho, and the Pittsburgh defense. But here's what he does have. Decent players like Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, AJ Brown. He hit on all three of his first picks. Clearly a great call. Amelia's sad because she wants her dad to be ranked in a top 6 playoff spot. She is managing James's team. I think when J.K. Dobbins comes back, you have some pretty solid depth when it comes to your running back position. And for those reasons, I do think there's some possibilities in the future for you to make some trades. Until then, though, I think that you're too limited by the bottom half of your team versus the top half. When they all blow up, though, it's an absolutely great team. Rank 7, we've got Green Bay sweetheart, marathon runner, J-Bay, hate list number 1, Green Bay's love list. Definitely a decent team. I was wrong to an extent. I feel like, look, Nick Chubb's really fucking good. Patterson should be solid. I mean, I don't love your secondary running back. Matt Stafford, though, good enough. Good wide receivers, really good wide receivers. And I got to say, I like the idea that Robert Tanyan and Sammy Watkins are on your team. I think early it's looking solid. Alan Lazard. When Gabe Davis comes back, your money. And look, you have Dawson Knox, so you can throw him in. Granted, he's not great, but it is what it is. But I like rank 6. I think you got a lot of room to move up. I mean, realistically, though, you desperately need another running back, brother. So I might be putting a trade in for you. If you see this, holla at your boy. Rank 6. And we got playoff teams now, boys. We've got playoff teams. Sean, the dirty frickin' commish, Riley Johnson. And what is there to say? You're an injured team, but players are coming back. You're well-rounded. You have good players in every position except for quarterback and tight end, though your tight end position isn't that bad. Week 2, though, so we'll see. All I know is that you need the guys to come back, and I don't think you can withstand more than a few more losses before it starts to become kind of dire straits. Well, I shouldn't say dire straits, but because there's an extra week in the league, but I feel like if you go like 1-5, it starts to become pretty dire. So hopefully you can make some things happen, but overall, solid team, just elite 2019 team, absolutely elite at every level. But for 2022, it's a 6th place team. People have said that the king is dead, but he's alive and he's still breathing. Shout out my Killswitch Engage fans. Rank number 4, Maxwell Day Klusendorf. Doesn't ever see the light of day because he spends all his time in a dark room, but I digress. Rank 4, Max, you have a solid team. You got Aaron Jones, should be in jail. Bad boy alert. Drugs, don't do them, kids. Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, the list goes on. It's a good team, and your team has shown it. That's the thing. You have good points for. None of your players have had like ridiculous blow-up games. Aaron Jones had a great game. He's going to do that. That's what Aaron Jones does. So congratulations on rank 4, but you're not better than your boy Matty Ice, rank 3. That's right. This is unbiased rankings. Granted, maybe I would be a little bit further down, but I think I have a good team this year. I put up some decent points last week. I put up good points this week. There isn't a ton to say. Basically, my team is elite if DK Metcalf shows up and it stays healthy. And I truly believe that. With Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans and DK Metcalf, if he starts to figure things out, I'm looking at a nice, and I mean very nice floor of about 45 points in just the receivers. Najee will give me 10 every week without a tutty. And look, Jalen Hurts is just a league winner. He just is. If he stays healthy, my floor on my team is no question 110. It's just 110 every single week. And because of that, and blow up weeks with guys like Tyreek Hill, I just love my chances of staying in the mix. And once you get in the playoffs and you start dancing, you never know what kind of song comes on. And next thing you know, you're in the chip. And then you win your first ever fantasy football championship that you've been dreaming of for about 8 years. And everybody makes fun of you for coming in second place. But, rank 2. This is highly contested. I've been pondering this for hours and minutes, really. And it's come down to one thing. Roster construction. And I just think that, Scott, your team is really good, but Ben's is better. Ben is better in every position except for quarterback. So I got you at rank 2. Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, good trade. The haters are going to hate. Bold football move. As you said, you needed to take a risk. Things were absolutely dire at the draft, and you found the guys that you wanted, and you made a trade, and it worked out. Now, if it continues to work out, it might be one of the greatest trades of fantasy football history. Because if you get to the playoffs because of that trade, and trust me, we will be tracking it. We will go back periodically, and we will see what your record would be like if you kept Monty and Pitts and started him every week instead of Ertz. And yeah. So congratulations on second place. You just barely squeaked out Ben. And look, Ben, you do have a little bit less points for than Scott, but I'm saying you're in first place because Your team is really good on the back of no specific player. Every week you got players that are going off, but all of your players do well. Swift and frickin' Mixon are just so steady. And then you got all your 3 wide receivers. It's incredible. First place. I mean, you just need a quarterback. And I believe that a quarterback is an easy position to fill. And you just have to fill like 6 more weeks max to get back Dak. It's a great team. Congratulations on first place. This is the power rankings. Let's fucking go, boys. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for week 3. Let's get it on. I'm out.
Well, your team sucks so bad, and I'm a baby, but your team sucks.